turn to page 7 for refuge and bodhicitta. Page 7, yes. In the Buddha's Dharma and Sangha, until enlightened I seek refuge, through merit from giving and the rest. To aid all may I become Buddha. In the Buddha's Dharma and Sangha, until enlightened I seek refuge, through merit from giving and the rest. To aid all may I become Buddha. In the Buddha's Dharma and Sangha, until enlightened I seek refuge, through merit from giving and the rest. To aid all may I become Buddha. May all sentient beings have happiness and its causes. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and its causes. May all sentient beings never be parted from sorrowless bliss. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free from bias, attachment, and hatred. We'll turn to the Heart Sutra, and that's on page 23. Homage to the exalted three jewels. Thus have I heard at one time, the Blessed One was dwelling in Rajagriha on Balcha mountain, together with a great assembly of monks and a great assembly of bodhisattvas. At that time, the Blessed One was absorbed in the concentration of the countless aspects of phenomena called profound illumination. At that very time, Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva, the Great Being, was looking perfectly at the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom, perfectly looking at the emptiness of inherent existence of the five aggregates also. Then, through the power of the Buddha, the Venerable Shariputra said to the superior Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva, the Great Being, how should a child of the lineage train who wishes to engage in the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom? Thus he spoke, and the superior Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva, the Great Being, replied to the Venerable Shariputra as follows. Shariputra, whichever son or daughter of the lineage wishes to engage in the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom should look perfectly like this, subsequently looking perfectly and correctly at the emptiness of inherent existence of the five aggregates also. Form is empty, emptiness is form, emptiness is not other than form, form is not other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, discrimination, compositional factors, and consciousness are empty. Shariputra, like this, all phenomena are empty without characteristics, that is, they are not produced and do not cease. They have no defilement and no separation from defilement. They have no decrease and no increase. Therefore, Shariputra, in emptiness there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no compositional factors, no consciousness. There is no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visible form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no object of touch, no mental phenomena. There is no I element, and so forth, up to no mind element, up to no element of mental consciousness. There is no ignorance and no cessation of ignorance, and so forth, up to no aging and death, and no cessation of aging and death. Likewise, there is no suffering, no origin, no cessation, and no path, no exalted wisdom, no attainment, and also no non-attainment. Therefore, Shariputra, because there is no attainment, bodhisattvas rely on and abide in the perfection of wisdom, and because their minds have no obstructions, they have no fear. Passing utterly beyond error, they attain the final state beyond sorrow. All the Buddhas who reside in the three times by relying upon the perfection of wisdom become manifest and complete Buddhas in a state of unsurpassed, perfect and complete enlightenment. Therefore, the mantra of the perfection of wisdom, the mantra of great knowledge, the unsurpassed mantra, the equal to the unequaled mantra, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering, since it's not false, should be known as the truth. The mantra of the perfection of wisdom is proclaimed. Tayata gate gate paragate parasamgate bodhisoha. Shariputra, this is how a bodhisattva, a great being, should train in the profound perfection of wisdom. Then the Blessed One arose from that concentration and said to the superior Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva, the great being, well said, O child of the lineage, so it is. The profound perfection of wisdom should be practiced exactly as you have taught, and the Tathagatas will rejoice. When the Blessed One had said this, the Venerable Shariputra, the superior Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva, the great being, and the entire assembly, as well as worldly beings, gods, humans, demigods, Gandharvas, and others, were filled with admiration and highly praised what had been spoken by the Blessed One. We turn to page 35 for the short mandala offering. Saji Peki Juk Ching Me Tok Tram Ri Rahab Linji Ni De Gyan Pari Sangye
So, good evening, everyone. So today's topic was how to develop bodhicitta, mind, yeah. So I'm sure that many of you have heard this teaching many times and have also tried to implement as much as you can in your life. But still, it is always great to be reminded of those practices again and again. Because sometimes even we know those practices, a lot of time we tend to forget them and distance ourself or our mind from being touched with those subjects, those practices. And when our mind is open, the beauty of the Dharma is that you can listen to the teachings 1,000 times and you can always get something, some maybe deeper understanding, maybe more profound understanding, or maybe new understanding. So, and maybe, I'm not sure, maybe there might be a few of you who are kind of new to the subjects. So the bodhicitta mind, first of all, before we actually discuss about how to cultivate and develop, first let us understand what this bodhicitta mind means. What is that? So, bodhicitta mind, of course it is a Sanskrit word. Bodhi meaning enlightenment, citta means mind. The altruistic mind or intention to achieve our highest potential, the fully enlightened state, the fully awakened state. So that is what, driven by incredible love and compassion for the benefit of all sentient beings. So that is what bodhicitta means. The altruistic intentions to actualize our highest potential, the fully awakened state or fully enlightened state, in order to be most beneficial, most helpful, most most meaningful to all others and oneself. So, in order to actualize this incredible pure attitude, intention, this wish, whatever you call it, we have to understand we have to have an understanding of two key things. One is to understand what enlightenment is, or fully awakened state is, or fully awakened state is, which you want to achieve. And so understanding that is crucial to have the bodhicitta, to have the correct, right understanding of what this bodhi means, this fully enlightened state means, the fully awakened state means, which you want to achieve, actualize. And also understanding that such state can be achieved, actualized through reflection, contemplation, whether such fully awakened state, fully enlightened state can be actually achieved. Can it really be achieved? Can it be possible to achieve, attain such state? So through that contemplation, coming to understanding that it is possible, so that is part of one side of the understanding that we, clear understanding, right understanding that we need. And then to have a strong wish to achieve that fully enlightened state, not just for oneself, but to help, to be most helpful, most beneficial, most benefit to each and every sentient beings. So, driven by such true sense of love, compassion, concern. So these two, these are the important factors. Why is it so? Is it important and necessary to actualize such bodhicitta mind? If so, why is it so important and necessary? I think maybe that is maybe first question. Maybe we would like to ask ourselves. From Buddhist point of view, it is very important and necessary to actualize and cultivate such a attitude. One, because we all want to be happy and do not want suffering. So, if we want to achieve the perfect, not only just a temporary sense pleasure, but if we want to have a true, lasting, perfect happiness, then we need to actualize such attitude. If we want to achieve the perfect state, the complete state, then again we need to develop this attitude. Without the attitude of the bodhicitta, we cannot perfect our own positive qualities. We cannot achieve or complete our all and develop all our positive qualities and clear and purify all the obscuration, all the negativities for your own goodness, for your own short-term, long-term happiness, for your own inner peace, joy, happiness. We need to develop this bodhicitta mind. And of course, to be able to be not only achieve perfect state and complete state for ourselves, but if we want to be most beneficial, most helpful, to be able to help to lead other sentient beings to that state of true lasting happiness state, inner happiness, joy, in order to help benefit, to lead them to that state, to help them to find true happiness, true joy, true peace in their life, then again we need to develop the bodhicitta mind. Without the bodhicitta mind, we will be very much limited in how much we can help, how much we can reach, how much we can benefit others. There will be too much limitations. Not only limitations, we wouldn't have all the skills and means. So, again, in order to develop all the skills, means to reach and help others, and not only to be able to help them to achieve happiness, but to help them to achieve without any limitation that we face at the moment as ordinary beings when we have not actualized our full potential. So for that very reasons, again, we need, so therefore, for the happiness of others, for the benefit of others, for the goodness of others, we need to develop the bodhicitta mind for our own happiness and others' happiness, for our own goodness and for the goodness of others, for the benefit of ourselves and benefit of others, for all sentient beings, including oneself. We need to develop the bodhicitta mind. So I guess that is the importance of cultivating as Buddha has said, what we are, who we are, is the result of our own thoughts, our own attitude, our own mind. Whether we are a compassionate person or uncompassionate persons, it depends on our attitude, thoughts. Whether we are happy persons or sad, depressed all the time, it depends on our attitude, our thoughts, our mind. Whether we are very optimistic, hopeful, despite all the challenges, problems that we face in our life, despite the different changes in circumstances, whether we can still remain to be very optimistic, hopeful, and confident in ourselves and others, or not, or whether we go to the very depressed, totally lose confidence in oneself and others, totally devastated. It all depends on our state of mind, attitude, thoughts. As Buddha said, any persons who act and speak with a negative attitude, thought, feeling, pain, suffering will follow. That is law of cause and nature, law of cause and effect. If any persons who act and speak out of positive, correct, pure, right attitude, success, happiness will follow. So therefore, cultivating the right, pure attitude, positive attitude is so important. And there can be nothing more pure, more positive attitude than the attitude of bodhicitta. The attitude of the bodhicitta will be the most pure attitude that we can develop. It's the most wholesome attitude that we can develop, most positive attitude that we can develop. So therefore, cultivating such attitude is so crucial, important. Then, great Indian masters such as Nagarjuna, Asanga, Shantideva, all those great scholars, practitioners, masters, have mentioned that all the suffering, pain that we experience are a result of our overly concern with ourselves, our selfishness, self-centeredness, which is concerned overly with oneself on the expense of others' happiness. All the happiness, joy that we experience in our life are a result of the thought of cherishing others, sincere concern and cherishing for others. So again, there is nothing more pure and powerful cherishing thought for others than the bodhicitta mind. Then I thought I will just read from one of His Holiness Dalai Lamas. His Holiness Dalai Lama says, the precious awakening mind of the bodhicitta we cherish other sentient beings more than oneself, is the pillar of the bodhisattvas practice, the path of great vehicle, Mayana. There is no more virtuous mind than bodhicitta. There is no more powerful mind than bodhicitta. There is no more joyous mind than the bodhicitta. To accomplish one's own ultimate purpose, the awakened mind is supreme. To accomplish the purpose of all living beings, other living beings, there is nothing superior to bodhicitta. The awakened mind, the bodhicitta, is unsurpassable way to accumulate merit. Quickest and most easy way to accumulate more merit. To purify obstacles is supreme. For protections from interferences, bodhicitta is supreme. It is the unique and all-encompassing method. Every ordinary and supramountain powers can be attained through bodhicitta. Thus, it is absolutely precious and important, necessary, cultivate and develop the bodhicitta mind. And again, I wanted to read a few from the late Lama Yeshe, just to get in touch with our lineage. Lama Yeshe says, bodhicitta is essential, universal truth. The most pure thought is the wish and will to bring all sentient beings to the realization their highest potential, the enlightenment. The bodhisattva sees this crystal nature that exists in each of us, and by recognizing the beauty of our human potential, always has respect for others, because we understand that potential in each. So because we see that potential in ourselves, we have respect for ourselves. Because we see that potential in each and every sentient being, we also respect others. So again, it helps us to develop incredible amount of respect, confidence in ourselves and others. When we don't see that potential, then it is hard to have confidence and respect for oneself. When we don't see that potential within ourselves, and when we can't see that potential within others, again, it also is hard to develop such a respect and confidence in others. And there are three more kind of, which I kind of found myself very inspiring, okay? So, by Lama Yeshe, bodhicitta is the intoxicant that numbs us against pain and fills us with bliss. So again, when we have such attitude of bodhicitta, when we are able to develop, actualize, we don't feel our own pain. It doesn't mean we will not go through pains, difficulty, problem in our life, but because of your bodhicitta, you will not feel the pain as strong as we feel at the moment. The problem doesn't seem as big problem as it seems at the moment. We can handle with much more easiness. What allow us to handle with such pain, problem, difficulty with such easiness and without being overwhelmed and too strong is the bodhicitta mind. So that is intoxicant which numbs us. Then the next he says, bodhicitta is the alchemy that transforms every action into benefit for others, as it is explained in Shantideva's Buddhist way of life, and as His Holiness Dalai Lama, as here Lama Ishe also says, when we are able to cultivate that bodhicitta mind, then we transform all our actions into positive, beneficial, useful, helpful. Every actions of eating become a helpful, beneficial when we are driven by such bodhicitta mind. Every action of sleeping become very positive, beneficial, helpful when it's driven by such bodhicitta. Every actions of going to your job, normal job, taking care of business, home, everything's become very helpful, beneficial, positive when it's driven by the bodhicitta mind. So, therefore, every action, 24 hours, can become transformed into something beneficial, meaningful, helpful, wholesome, positive, through the power of bodhicitta mind. What makes all these actions positive is through the power of the bodhicitta mind. Then Lama Ishe goes, bodhicitta is the cloud that carries the rain of positive energy to nourish growing things. So our spiritual growth, that is what nourishes us. Then I think I would like to read a few words, line from Kevdi Lama Sowa Rinpoche. Here Rinpoche says, the whole thing, so that probably many of you have so many practices, all come down to live the daily life with bodhicitta motivations, to put all the effort in whatever we do, everything that I just mentioned, 24 hours, with the bodhicitta motivation. This way, your life does not get wasted. So, if we have the right bodhicitta motivation, we do become meaningful, beneficial, helpful. So therefore, it is not wasted. And it becomes full of joy and happiness. Of course, the joy and happiness that is brought by the true sense of love, compassion, bodhicitta, incredible. True sense of satisfaction, true sense of joy cannot be compared to anything to the joy that we experience by relying on sense objects. There is nothing to be compared. No matter how big the happiness is brought by sense, our sense, by sensory or sense consciousness or sensory, which depend on external sense objects, cannot be measured by the one of the hundreds of the joy and happiness brought by the such bodhicitta mind. So therefore, with no regret, when we live our life with the bodhicitta mind, absolutely, there is no regret in our life, absolutely. Especially when we die, when you die, you can die with a smile outside and a smile in the heart. So, again, if we can live our life with such bodhicitta mind, then we enjoy our life, so much happiness, joy, that while we live our life, we create so much positive environment of peacefulness, joy, and calmness around people we live with everyone we encounter. So it's just like, say, being around His Holiness Dalai Lama, K.P. Lama Sopa Rinpoche, some of those great holy beings who are encompassed by those such a true love, compassion, and bodhicitta mind. Just being near to them, around them, there is this kind of energy, atmosphere of peacefulness, calmness, joyfulness. Just being around there, you can feel the energy. So therefore, you create that kind of energy around you, atmosphere around you, environment around you. So therefore, not only you are satisfied, happy, and joy, but we create such a conducive environment, energy, for people to find true sense of peace, calmness, joy, happiness. Even the animal can feel that. Then when it comes to the end of our life, as Lama Sopa Rinpoche, we have no regret at our life. We have lived our life fully. The most meaningful way, most beneficial way we could have lived. There is no regret at all. So you are able to die very peacefully, with very calm, very satisfaction, happy. You live your life peaceful, happy, and you die peacefully, happy, satisfied. And then you have better higher rebirth, much more better higher rebirth when we are able to live and die that way. There is no doubt when we are able to live our life according to such way of life, and when we die that way, there is no doubt that you will have better, higher, positive rebirth. So that is why so important, crucial to cultivate and develop the bodhicitta mind. So having said that, so now come to the main subject. How to develop, cultivate that the bodhicitta mind. In many of the classical Buddhist texts and scriptures, they mainly two technique. One technique which is known as exchanging equalizing self with others, coming mainly from Shantideva's lineage. And then the other technique is seven point of cause and effect, I guess, of 7 point of cause and effect of cultivating bodhicitta, which come mainly through the asangas. And then you also find in the Lama Tsongkhapa lineage, that Lama Tsongkhapa bring these two techniques together, and again to make the practice even more powerful, more intense, more stronger. So again, the way to integrate both technique together. So of course, since we don't have much time, I will just focus on one technique, one particular technique, instead of trying to cover all of them and not being able to cover it at all. So I thought maybe it would be more beneficial, especially for those who are new to the techniques, by discussing on exchanging, equalizing self with others according to that technique. Okay. Whichever technique you use, any of those three techniques, one of the foundation that we need is equanimity. First, we need to develop the equanimity. Without the foundation of equanimity, then it is impossible to develop the bodhicitta mind. Because without the foundation of the equanimity, it is impossible to develop true love and compassion to each and every sentient beings. Because our mind is biased, discriminating, and partial. So because of that discriminating mind, because of that partiality, because of the biased mind, then we develop true love and compassion to only certain individuals or certain categories and not to all. So, and if we cannot embrace and develop true sense of love and compassion to each and every sentient being, then we cannot develop the great love and great compassion. Without the great love and great compassion, then there is no bodhicitta mind. It is the bodhicitta mind which induce or drives or makes the bodhicitta minds possible. So therefore, cultivating equanimity without being biased and discriminating, holding some with anger and hatred, and holding some with attachment, and being indifferent to some others. So equanimity is not being indifferent, okay? It means sometimes there is a lot of misunderstanding, sense that equanimity means being indifferent. It doesn't mean that. It means being equally concerned, equally caring to all, equally, without being without being fooled by attachment to one side and fooled by anger and hatred to another side. So again, this is equanimity is again big subjects. If we go in details, again, that is one big subject, but I won't go detail in that subject. So that is the foundation that we need through practice of equanimity. We let go of feeling attached to some and let go of feeling anger and hatred to some others and being indifferent to others, but feeling equally same, all of them. So that allow us to develop true love and compassion to them, each of them. So first, whatever method you use it, the foundations of the equanimity is important. So our practice is stable. As if we don't have that good foundation, one, we cannot develop true love and compassion, and even if we develop, it will be not so stable. And then, coming to the main point is equalizing the contemplating, reflecting, meditating on the first point. So again, there are 5 points in this practice, technique, meditations. We like numbers. But it is helpful. If you don't have number, then you get scattered everywhere. You can't remember anything. But it is a way to help us to kind of be focused. You come with number, and then you just have to remember the name, and then with one first, and then it's easy to kind of to keep in our mind. It's a technique, you know. But we always have number. So here comes number 5. Okay, there are 5 points in this technique. The first point is equalizing self with others. So that is reflecting, contemplating that just as I want happiness, naturally, spontaneously, and do not want pain, suffering for a moment. Each and every sentient beings naturally, spontaneously want to be happy and do not want suffering, equally, just like myself. Equally. No matter what our skin colors are, no matter what our educations, educated, uneducated, different level of education, no matter what our status are, no matter where you live, east, west, young, old, we all wish to be happy and do not want suffering. That is the fact. Equally, naturally, spontaneously. And just as we have right to be happy and not to suffer, equally each and every sentient being, including animals, they have right to be happy and not to suffer, just like ourselves. Equally. Just as we have the potential to be happy and not to suffer, equally each and every sentient beings have the potential to be happy and not to suffer. Understanding those points, reflecting, contemplating on those points, have happiness for each and every sentient beings. The needs for to be free from the pain and suffering with each and every sentient being. So when you have that sense of, true sense of understanding, feeling of that equally, just as you feel for yourself in that way, when you are feeling of that, then the first point has been starting to develop and making progress in your towards cultivating the bodhicitta. So that is the first point. And if we want to go even a little bit further, then again we can use some kind of visualization, imaginations. That on one side there is one, me, overly concerned, overly cherishing oneself, who only think of my needs, my happiness. And then on the other side, there are countless sentient beings who also need equally happiness and does not want suffering. And yourself as watching as unbiased naturally, and then see which make more sense, to be more concerned with the countless sentient beings on one side, or to one person who is totally dedicated for oneself. If we are unbiased, then it makes more sense to be more concerned with that at the moment. So again, through that kind of visualizations, contemplations, reflection, again, maybe we might be able to, it might be able to help us to let go of the strong self-centeredness, feeling that the whole world is only about me, and begin to kind of open our heart. So that is the first point, reflecting, contemplating. So not only having kind of intellectual understanding, which most of us do have, but to be able to bring that intellectual understanding to experiential understanding. At the moment, things doesn't make much difference in our life, doesn't change much, because our understanding is all here. We haven't been able to bring this understanding to this understanding, experiential understanding, to really feel it. We have just dry understanding. So you reflect, trying to contemplate as much as possible, and you try to feel as much as possible. Feel as much as possible the feeling of that the wish, desire not to suffer and to be happy or to have happiness to each and every sentient beings. That strong wish. So, what is the... So in order to develop that, to feel and go beyond that, and to be able to have true love, compassion, concern for others, there is internal interferences which block us from going beyond feeling sense of need for our own to achieve happiness and to reduce suffering just for oneself. What is that which does not allow us to go beyond the boundary of just ourselves, and to be able to go beyond that boundary and to be able to understand, feel others' feelings, and to be able to reach others, and to be able to have true sense of concern, care, love, compassion to others, is the internal interferences. And that is our own afflictive emotions, delusions, especially the self-centeredness, the selfish, overly self-concern. That is the main interference, obstacles. So we have to reduce, decrease, and gradually eliminate that selfishness, self-centeredness. So how can we do that? How can we do that? Is by reflecting, contemplating, by using our own experiences in our life, how our self-centeredness, selfish, lead us into more problems, more pain, more suffering, more conflict, more difficulties. It will be very hard to have conflict with anyone if we don't have that selfish self-centeredness. It doesn't mean we will agree with it, what they say, everything, but we wouldn't be so upset and angry. We can disagree peacefully, without being disturbed, without being upset, without being angered. But for us, when we have disagreement with certain issues in our life with anyone, it disturbs us. It upsets us easily. And that disturbance and upsetness make us angry and slowly hatred, and make our life miserable, and make life of others around us miserable. What make our life miserable, with that, what makes is that whether that can make the miserable of your enemy, someone who upset you, maybe we don't know, maybe we might not. We might make their life miserable, or might not be able to make it miserable. But what is for sure is it will make your life miserable. That is for sure. When we are being disturbed, upset, and angry, our life has been, we create miserableness in ourselves. Not only ourselves, we create miserable for people whom we love and care. Because when I'm miserable, with whom I spend most of my time, people whom I care, love, they can feel that miserableness, that energy, and they become miserable because they can't stand to see you miserable. So you become miserable, you create a miserable situation for people whom you love. You don't want to create miserable, but that is what really happens. That is what really happens. Your intention was not to make them miserable, but when we become miserable in that sense, the energy that it brings, the atmosphere, the environment it creates is that miserable energy, which they just feel it. So what makes us so upset and disturbed and angry is our self-cherishing thought, our egoistic mind, where we need to feel we are right all the time. Correct all the time. Our self-cherishing thought always thinks we have to be right all the time, and we are right all the time. Check it out. Think of all the conflict that we have gone through in our life, all these pains that we have gone in our life, throughout our different stages of our life. And check it out, whether your ego-mind, egoistic mind, whether your self-centeredness, selfish, play a role in that or not, to make that miserableness. Just imagine if you are not driven by any egoistic mind, any selfish mind, self-centeredness, how will you react? How will you feel for the same action that someone has created, verbally, physically, whatever that is? How would you have felt if you don't have that selfishness, self-centeredness, egoistic mind? How will you feel it? And how will you react it? And if you have felt differently, if you have reacted differently, could we have stopped those pains, those conflicts? Could we have stopped it? Could we have decreased it, if not stopped it totally? Could the pain be much less? Could the conflict be much less? Could the problem be much less? Check it out with your own experience, with your own life, and try to see it, whether that is the case. If we honestly go much more deeper beyond superficial level, surface level, then we find always it is the self-centeredness, selfishness, the egoistic mind. On the superficial level, on the surface level, we can come with all kinds of excuses. All the excuses. He or she is exploiting, abusing, insulting, whether it's myself or someone else or whatever, all these things. But it is not only about that, it's much more than that. I can totally disagree with someone, understand, knowing, and totally disagree with someone, exploiting someone, insulting someone, abusing someone, or myself. But still, I don't have to be so disturbed and angry, upset and angry. But it's not just that. What makes me go through all this is my own self-egoistic. It is not just because someone is insulting, abusing, and that. Someone can stand for themselves, for injustice done to themselves or others, but without being anger. We don't have to be angry to stand up for injustice being done for ourselves and for others. But we always feel that anger because of that. For Buddhas and bodhisattvas, those great beings, they always stand for injustice being done, but their mind has not been disturbed, upset, and anger. They act because of that. They stand for the injustice being done, but with sense of liberation. Are we able to do that? That is the one thing. So if it is not, then all these are sometimes just excuse. Do you get it? For us. Actually, more than that, there's much more deeper level. That's our egoistic, our self-centeredness, selfishness. So the less self-centered, self-concerned, overly concerned, self-cherishing, overly cherishing, the less we feel the pain, disturb, hurt when someone acts in a certain way, either for oneself or others. So when there is less disturbance, less hurt, there's less pain. Less pain, less suffering. When you have less pain, less suffering, you react much more positive way. When we are being hurt, painful, most time we react in a negative way, unhelpful, unhealthy, unbeneficial way for oneself and others. But when our mind is much more calm, peaceful, we are able to respond much more peacefully, much more calm, with much more healthy way, much more beneficial, much more healthy, much more helpful way. Thereby we create better environment to find solutions to the problems. So therefore, in order to reduce, decrease, and gradually eliminate that self-centeredness, we have to reflect, contemplate again and again on how this is the fundamental cause of our pain, suffering, miserableness. And the more you are able to reflect with your own experience, more powerful it becomes, instead of just kind of trying to understand from some kind of outside. The more you bring your own experience, your own life experience, and relate with that, and trying to understand with your own experience, then you are more convinced that this is the fundamental, the main interference and the cause of pain, suffering, conflict. So then the third point is reflecting and contemplating on the benefit, goodness of cherishing thought for others. So the more cherishing thought we develop, the more sense of caring, concern for others, the more closer we get to bodhicitta, to love, compassion, and bodhicitta. So again, understanding all happiness, goodness, peacefulness, calmness comes through cherishing thought for others, result of others. So again, we try to contemplate that as much as possible by relying on our own experience as much as possible. If we observe in our life, when we have certain instant in our life where we are able to be, where we are able to kind of really feel, have sense of concern others, and when we are able to reach and to be able to help unconditionally, such experience have been the most satisfying experience in our life. Such experience are the most joyful experience that we can recollect. Such experience are the one which really make us feel good about ourselves. And confidence in ourselves. So with that, what it shows is that when we have true sense of cherishing thought for others, it brings us much more deeper level of satisfaction, joy, happiness, confidence. On the other level, when it's driven by self-centeredness, even we might feel so satisfied at the very beginning. Later, when we look at those experiences, we feel good, we are embarrassed about those experiences. We don't feel good about those experiences. We are not proud about those experiences. There is no true sense of true satisfaction, peace, calm with those experiences. So when we cultivate and act out of such true cherishing thought for others, it gives us satisfaction, confidence, joy, happiness, and it makes others feel being cared, love. Give them so much feeling of safe. When we act out of anger or self-cherishing thought, they feel threatening, scared, fear. So not only it creates so much peace, satisfying happiness in our life, but when we bring that energy, internal energy, feeling in our actions, in our way of life, it not only even we try to bring it, it just comes naturally. It just expressed in natural way, in our word, in our actions. And when that are expressed in natural way, again, people feel it. People feel it. They feel so much secure, calm, peaceful. Sometimes just being there with that kind of love can heal much more than what external can do. A lot of time, people are not being able to heal by all kind of medications. But the moment they begin to feel those energy, sense of being loved, cared, protected, they naturally heals. And also, even they take some kind of medication, whatever, it helps to heal much faster, much better. So therefore, you can see cherishing thought for others is a cause for happiness of oneself and others, for the confidence, cause of confidence in oneself and others, cause of strength in oneself and others, cause of satisfaction, joy for oneself and others. So again, reflecting, contemplating as much as you can with that. As Lama Sopa Rinpoche says, the moment you cherish others, true happiness starts. Real happiness starts the moment you cherish others. So that is the third point, reflecting, contemplating, trying to understand. And the fourth point is they're actually equalizing self with others. So what it means is changing our attitudes and trying to, just as at the moment we always think about our own happiness and our own needs, goodness, and always kind of run after that all the time. Now we try to transform and change and think concern about others, happiness of other, goodness of other, and then we try to actualize that, accomplish that as much as possible. So equalizing our attitude, the way we feel for ourselves, we change that to others. The way we feel to others at the moment, we change it to others, to oneself. That is actually exchanging the attitudes, the way we feel for now and the way we feel to others, the opposite. And again, sometimes it seems not easy. But as Shantideva said, it can be possible. It is possible. Even though we can see at the feel, this is not my body, this is not my life, how can I feel same? The way I feel to my body, the way I feel to my life. But Shantideva said, if you train your mind, it can be possible, because even this body doesn't belong to us at the very beginning. It belonged to our parent. Our life was, and so the feeling of being so close with our life and oneself, we reach there over the years' time because we have been training and always feel so much cherishing that all the time. So if we kind of train our mind to cherish others, slowly it will feel that equally others' body, others' life, as your own body, your own life. It's possible. It's all training the mind, all training the mind. And then, reflecting, contemplating, understanding there, and then trying to that exchange and transform as much as possible, trying to feel the other's life, other's body as your own life, each of other sentient beings, and trying to cherish, trying to feel sense of closeness, dearness with each of them. And then the fifth is the practice of love and compassion through the practice of giving and taking, Tonglen. So, through the practice of taking and giving, again, which itself is a big topic, big subject, we try to improve, cultivate and improve and increases our compassion by taking on pain, sufferings for others, on ourselves. And we try to cultivate and improve and increase our level of love by giving and sharing all our goodness, virtues, excellence, whatever we have to others. So by doing that practice again and again, taking on others' problems, suffering, pain, as well as cause of those pain, suffering on oneself, giving all our happiness, joy, goodness, excellence, as well as the cause of that to others, again and again, then our love and compassion increases. And in order to help our practice of taking, giving more, then we can utilize the visualizations as we breathe in and out, and visualizing taking all the pains, sufferings, cause of suffering in the form of black smokes, and as we give our goodness, happiness, joy, we use our breath as we breathe out in the form of white energy, white light, something like that. So then eventually, when we have true love, develop true sense of love and compassion, true sense of great love and great compassion to each and every sentient beings. And when we try to when that energy manifests naturally, and when we try to reach and help and benefit others in action, in real, then we begin to feel that we are limited at the moment, as we are at the moment as ordinary beings, still with other delusions, still not perfected. So we see limitations. The true love is there, true compassion is there, the motivation, intention, strong motivation, intention there, but still in terms of actually being able to reach and help, we know the limitation that we have. So then when you reflect, contemplate on the qualities of the functioning, the qualities of the fully enlightened state, then you begin to understand, if I can achieve that fully enlightened state, that fully awakened state, I will not be limited. I will not have the limitations that which I have at the moment. So then you have a strong wish to achieve that state, actualize that state, in order to help others, driven by that such true love and compassion. And when you have that spontaneously, a strong wish to achieve fully enlightened state, driven by such true love and compassion, then that is the bodhicitta. That is the bodhicitta. Then, of course, there are conventional bodhicitta, ultimate bodhicitta, aspiring bodhicitta, engaging bodhicitta, again, different level of bodhicitta mind, and so forth. So I think we will have to, because I know there is puja, and I think we need a few minutes. I can take one or two questions if there is. Yes?
I know how you like numbers. From 1 to 10, how important is it when you're doing these things to go ahead and feel the stuff?
Well, I think I would say 8, at least 8, 9.
The sensations, the emotions,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You mentioned that if we just kind of reverse the view of how we normally view ourselves, we view others, and how we view them, we view ourselves that way. Now, we're not supposed to see ourselves as truly existent. So, do we see others as truly existent?
No, in terms of truly existing, we don't see ourselves or others.
I didn't think so.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see.
Yeah.
I thought maybe that would be kind of an interesting technique too. I was like,
No. I think as far as coming to that, we have to see whether it's self or the others, non-truly existence. Again, it is, yeah, okay, yeah. I think I won't go too much. Yeah. Okay, this will be the last questions. Yeah.
A question about tolerance yourself. When you breathe in the suffering and you breathe out the happiness, what if you don't feel that happiness in yourself to breathe out in the love and compassion, because the love and compassion you feel that in yourself is not yet very strong? So, is it something I've seen is the emotion and love of someone like Lamazapa Rinpoche. I don't feel I have it. So just a question on, if you don't feel you have it, what do you do that?
Well, you might feel all the virtues that you have, all the virtues that we have collected from beginning lifetime. There are countless of virtues as well. All other positive energies, goodness that we enjoy in our life, whatever those goodness that we have, whatever success we have that. And as far as if we feel we don't have that kind of true love and compassion, again, as you said, we can visualize your guru or the Buddha, let's say Cherisik, and then you receive the love and compassion, and then you send that love and compassion to them. Or if someone needs confidence and you don't have that confidence, again, you can do same technique. You receive the confidence, strength from the Buddha or your gurus into yourself. You receive that, and again, you share and give and expand to others. Yeah? Okay, you are most welcome. Thank you. And we'll do the dedication prayer.
Dedication Through this virtue may I swiftly, having gained Guru Buddha state, place each and every sentient being without exception in that state. Precious Supreme Bodhi Mind, may it where unborn arise, and where born never decline, but increase forevermore.
So, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
A group offering. But